I'd love to hear if you're willing and open for this. I'd love to sort of for you to maybe talk, and it can be again in general, or my favorite is always to learn about like the person's journey because that's how people connect with us. What were some of the mistakes that you feel like you've made along the way? What have you changed? What's your mindset changed from? What are things that like what are the lessons learned along the way from those mistakes that you would do differently?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, there's probably too many mistakes to name here. I mean, I think everybody that has
I
gone
agree,
through the
and
path.
honesty is important.
Exactly, right. I think everybody who's gone through the path of sales, entrepreneurship, business, I mean, there's a ton of mistakes, right? Whether on a technical side or on a personal side. But when it comes to some that I can just think of right off the bat, I mean, in terms of, I'll tell you one thing really quick on the flip side. One thing that wasn't a mistake, something that I'm proud of myself for doing and that I would recommend everybody else to do is I got into investing in myself early. So I got into reading books and going to conferences and really seeing the value of mentors really early. So I was 16, 17, 19 years old, traveling across the country between US and Canada, going to different conferences, different seminars, just getting really close to people that are successful, that are in places that I want to be in, and just using that as a gauge for myself and to build reality for myself. So that's something that I did very early. So I can't say, I wish I had gotten started earlier or I wish this and that, right? Mistakes, it's hard to really pinpoint some. There's been so many. One that I made that more recently, over the last 3 years, I would say, I've pivoted away from and that I've really opened my mind to was I used to believe everything's black or white. It's either this or that. It's either 100% or 0%. It's either, completely this direction or completely that direction. And I've realized that most things in life are actually in the gray areas. And that's something that I think just comes with maturity. It comes with age. It comes with, just life experience and exposing yourself to more things, more opportunities that you realize, it's not really that. Not everything's black or white. So that's a mistake that I made. And along those same lines, one thing that I would do is when I would try to implement something, a new routine or anything that I would try to implement in my own life, I would go for maximum productivity as opposed to consistency. So I would go for maximum output, all in or all out, just trying to do that thing or trying to implement that routine or whatever it might be. And oftentimes it would be a very up and down battle, right? The peaks and the valleys. And it was very inconsistent. And I feel like a lot of sales professionals and entrepreneurs experience that. So one thing that I learned is if you're implementing things, whether it's systems in your business, whether it's routines in your personal life, you want to go for consistency first, not maximum productivity. Then you can slowly ramp it up and get to that maximum productivity level. But I realized that a lot of things are in the gray areas. And that's just one example of that. But that's a mistake that I think I made early on. But then again, as cliche as it sounds, was it a mistake? It's gotten me to where I am today. It was a lesson that I learned, and it's been one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over the last couple of years. So, you know, it's if I had to go back, would I change that? I'm not sure. I think that aggression and that all or nothing mindset is also crucial in sales. It's crucial in business. I think that's part of what separated me from everybody else. So, as much as that's something that I've matured from and learned from, it's also something that I probably wouldn't change. I hope that answers your question.